the right side, because the right side is the biggest area. Alright, so he plays a normal Joseki. So, in this Joseki, I am Sente, so I can play here. And he plays. So, in this one, thanks for the follow, Josh. In this one, my goal here is to settle and go get the big one. Play a Joseki that settles and gives me Sente. Because the right side is very good. But I couldn't just ignore weakness, because remember, question 1 in the classic approach is, where am I weak? So we don't ignore weakness. We do deal with the weakness first, and then we go play the most open side. And that's what we do. Alright, so he played high, so he wants to develop, which is fine. Alright, am I weak anymore? No. And is black weak? No. Both players are perfectly fine. So, now we need to play a big move. The big move is the most open side. Well, a 3-4 is really open. It's kind of almost an open corner, and the right side is the widest, so I really want to play over here somewhere. So I have the option of low or high, and both are okay. I'm going to go high just because I prefer the variations, and it's more common, and I'm used to it. So I'm just going to go high. But I'm on the right side, and I'm approaching the right corner. And remember guys, if you want to hear me talk live, join the Discord right here. It's free to join, and it's on the chat room for Join. So feel free to join the Discord and just join the teaching room 1. Alright, so he's playing this, so I have 2 Joseki options. I have the Hane Joseki and I have the Avalanche Joseki. Which direction should I play? Well, I can play the right side, which is pretty wide. Remember, that was the side we wanted to be on. The bottom side is also pretty wide for development. In this case, though, the right side was a little bit wider, so I'm going to go this way. But both, I think, are fine options. Since I'm wanting to stop black's development, though, since I went on the black side, I'm just going to stick to my original plan. I'm going to keep it very simple. And I could do this Joseki, but it's not like I really need to extend further. So this Joseki, time as well Joseki, means you want to extend very far, right? But in this case I don't need to, because there's no Shamari, there's no gigantic position that I need to deal with. So I'm just going to stay solid and strong. I'm going to play this one. Wider? Well, when I originally approached, if you count the spaces, when it was between this 3-4 and the start point, and it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 spaces to jump across, or 12 spaces in between, and this one's only 11. So when I first went in, the right side was the widest distance between 2 stones. Alright, so he played here, Hitsunuki. That's actually not quite Joseki, and the reason is I can start with the but first, I'm going to ask myself, am I weak anywhere? Yes, my group doesn't have a base. So, I need to help my 3 stones. I can do this in 1 of 2 ways. 1, I can immediately make a base. Or 2, I can put pressure on my opponent and gain shape and Sente. And that's actually what I'm going to do. So, option 1 would be to make a base. But it's a little bit more powerful to attack your opponent's weakness while flying, if you can. So, if you can, it's a little bit more powerful to do that. But I'm going to just put pressure here on the shape. This leads me to an empty triangle, right? And this shape's a little bit better. here, I'm going to Nobi, and now if he cuts, I have a net, so there's no cut. This is very solid. I was able to surround him in the corner and save my group. So this is a success for my plan, which was to fix myself, fix my weakness. And I got some influence as well while fixing my weakness. Alright, so he plays. Pushing your opponent along from the second line is usually good for your opponent, so I can Nobi and still consider myself okay. Now, the question is, of course, do I need to? Because you always want to Tanuki if you can and go for the biggest move. So is this move valuable? Well, if he plays here, it's a Hane at the head of 2 stones, which puts me in bad liberties and leaves cuts, right? It also can help him surround me, so I'm going to go ahead and Nobi, because I don't want to have the Hane at the head of 2. Hane at the head of 2 puts me in bad liberties, so I think this Nobi is worth it. And only push from behind like this, to the point where blocking is no longer sente for your opponent. And then you don't want to push it. Because if you keep pushing, your opponent's going to get more and more points than you because it's only one at a time. But if blocking sente, then you can push once in order to make it gote, but then you want to Tanuki. So he Tanuki. Alright, so now, where should I play? First, do I have any weaknesses? Not really. This is still pretty strong and light because there's not many black stones around it yet. And then I need to ask, does my opponent have any weaknesses? Well, this stone obviously can be pushed, but let's try and look at how to push this stone. I can push it from 1 or 2 ways. Step 1 is take the base. I can take the base here, or I can push it here. And the reason this one's sensitive is because if I push it here, he has a slide, or an attachment, or a 1-point jump to make the base. You can also push it here. But for our purposes, we are going to just think, which way can my opponent make a 2-space extension? Because we don't need to know all these variations just yet, we just want to learn basics. So my opponent can make an extension, 2-space extension, this way. I'm going to take this way, and make him as cramped as possible. Once he's cramped, it becomes very easy to attack and surround and gain profit. Alright, so he is making a 2-space extension, so I need to block him. Blocking my points and blocking his eyes from getting, blocking his eye space from expanding. And now I just need to work on surrounding. And while I'm surrounding, he'll try to live and I'll gain thickness. And that's the idea of attacking. Okay, he's going. So this is 2 stones against 2 stones. So Hane head of 2 is our proper shape here. And then a double Hane against the Hane head of 2. Okay, he cut, so I have to fix. Okay, so he has a cutting stone, or he's cutting me off, so I'm going to capture the cutting stone on the ladder, fix myself, and then we can worry about what to do after that. Alright, he's playing here. So I don't want to deal with the ladder, so I could connect, but maybe there's a peep later. So I don't want to deal with that, so I'm just going to take. So the way to think if you should connect, well, if there's a ladder breaker move that's possible, most of the time, you just want to take. But if there's not a ladder breaker move possible, then you just want to connect. Those are the 2 ways to think. Why not extend? Well, if I wanted to extend, then his cutting stone might run. And cutting stones are dangerous, and you usually want to kill cutting stones as fast as possible. So just capturing the cutting stone in a ladder is a little bit easier. And we're sticking to basics, we don't want to go too advanced. So if him running with the cutting stone led to bad variations and we read it all, then perhaps we could have Nobi'd. But in this case, we're only sticking to basics and thinking of basic ideas. Alright, so, basic ideas. Am I weak anywhere? No. Is he weak anywhere? Not really, because the stones are kind of out, so it's not really weak anywhere. So, where is the biggest move? Alright, open sides. Is there an open side? Well, the right side's still kind of open, and the left side's still kind of open. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it looks like the right side's going to be a little bit larger. So I'm just going to play this very simple move and expand the right side. And 2 stones wants to jump over 3. So I'm just going to make an extension. And this should be perfectly fine. Am I weak anywhere? No. Is he weak anywhere? Yes. Right here. So first things first, I take the base. So take his 2 space extension here. Is it possible to invade the top? Yes. Top is very invadable. I can invade at F17, A17, and Q17, or Q18 and P18. Those are the common invasions there. But the top wasn't the rightest side just yet on the thing, was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, so the right side was slightly wider. So according to our basics, then the right side was slightly bigger, but you can argue that the top is bigger for other reasons, but we're not going to worry about that just yet. Okay, so now he's running away. Here, these 2 stones are the group that's weak. Therefore, we want to think, can I attack this group and gain profit? Well, can I surround it? Well, it looks like he's connected, but this is a knight's move, therefore it's cuttable. So, what if we try to cut? We can jump through the cut, which is common. And he plays, I cut, he ladders, and this ladder does work for him, so I'll have to give it up in Atari, and he'll get a Panuki, and I'll save and kill the stone. So technically, I can cut off the stone, but it'll give him a Panuki. Or, I can push through like this. So, for simplicity, I'm just going to push through like this because it's very simple, and I won't go counting the value of giving the Panuki for the side. For now, I'm just going to cut and hope for the best, because at this level, that's all we can do, right? We can't read too in depth. We just have to know that if I played the jump cut, that ladder was good for black, and the Panuki seemed really good for black to get. Panuki in the center is very low. So normally you would consider the jump cut first, but in this case the ladder is good for black, so therefore I'm just going to leave this. Okay, and save my cutting stone. Alright, and now, let's just get a couple forcing moves with my cutting stones. Okay. Push this cutting stone. And you can see White's developing the center for his profit. Get a little keep here for shape. This one actually might be a mistake because of the Atari. So this one might not be good. Okay, but I think he didn't quite play it, but it's okay. So maybe this peak wasn't so good. Alright, so I'm just going to push him more because I threatened the cut. I'm just going to get my profit by pushing this. Why the peep? Well, actually the peep's a mistake, I think. I don't think I should have peeped. I peeped out of habit. Okay, I'll be truthful. I peeped because I wanted him to see that I was an that's honestly why I peeped, but peeping right here wasn't good. So that's my first bad move. Alright, now, we were aiming at this cut. So he didn't quite see it, so we were aiming at the cut, and that's why we actually pushed. We played the peep and pushed in order to aim at this cut. And remember, always watch your cuts. Make sure you've got always the finger cuts. Thank you for the follow, Garashi, too. Now, am I weak anywhere? I have to check my weaknesses first. And I been killed anywhere, or attacked anywhere. These stones look pretty strong because they can easily run away. Therefore, I think I'm okay. So, now I look at the cut. Of course I want to cut if I can. If he plays this one, I connect. Yep. If he plays this one, I run. And I think I'm okay. These two stones are the only one that I'm worried about. But I'll lose these two stones and he'll lose these two stones. So I want to say I'm okay. I can't read too deeply, so I can only trust my instincts and say this cut is probably good for me. So the cut looks very dangerous from black, so I'm going to try it. Because you shouldn't be afraid to try snipe. You shouldn't be afraid to push your game. You should just try to read as far as possible and then judge. And in this case, I want to say it's good. And as always, everyone, if you look at the Discord link right below my little face here, you can join the Discord and listen to me speak live. Therefore, if you want to watch the game live, you can actually listen. Oh, missed it. Accept the invite. You can actually listen live while watching the game live on the Discord. But if you're just watching from the live stream, that's also perfectly okay. Just wanted to point it out to you guys. Alright, so he connected here. So, of course, I have to save my cutting stones, and I can save it with the tiger's mouth, so perfectly reasonable. Alright, he's peeping, so I have to fix. Alright, I'm going to stay connected and stay strong. Okay, so now we are back to our questions. Am I weak anywhere? Not quite. Is he weak anywhere? Yes. Alright, so step one is take the base. Well, a base is efficient ice base, right? So I don't quite see any efficient ice base. Therefore, I want to think if he doesn't have efficient ice base, then I need to surround him. Well, he's already surrounded, so now I'm at step 3, which is reduce the ice base. Well, where's he going to get ice base at? That's actually on the left side here. So we're going to reduce the ice base, and a 1-point jump is good for him, so hopefully it's good for us. So I'm just going to take his shape, which is his move, and his move will be a 1-point jump. So I'm going to take a 1-point jump. And now he has to work on living and making 2 ice. Okay, so he's trying to expand his ice base, so I'm going to do nothing super severe. I'm just going to block and keep his ice base small. Alright, and he's expanding his ice base, so I'm just going to keep blocking, stay strong, and force him to live. Okay, and now he's completely alive. Therefore, I have to rethink, am I weak anywhere? No. Is he weak anywhere? Not anymore. So where's the big move? Actually, these center stones seem a little uncomfortable, right? So, now that this group's completely alive with 2 eyes, now I'm a little worried about these center stones, which is acceptable. So in order to live, I want to either run away, or maybe try and get some Sente moves if I can. So can I get any Sente moves? Well, it looks like I can get a Hane here, or a Knight's knight's move here, or I can just jump and use two jumps. So now I have to think, I have three options to play. Which one should I play? Well, if I play here, I'm worried I'm going to help him develop the top, so I'm not quite a fan of that one. If I play here, I'm kind of surrounding this group, so maybe that's okay. So I'm going to go with this one. So remember, the key for direction of play is actually just understanding what's happening and asking yourself the questions. The questions, of course, are, where's my weakness, where's my opponent's weakness, and then where's the big move? And the steps for the big move are open corners, open side, and biggest area. And so that's all we've done for this entire game, is stick to those few steps right there. We haven't done anything crazy, we just stayed super solid and got to the big moves. We didn't try to kill him. We just surrounded, let our opponent live, and it was good enough. Alright, so, first question, where am I weak? Well, I'm not weak anywhere, because now I got this knight's move, so I feel pretty strong here. Where's my opponent weak? Well, remember this knight's move is putting a little bit of pressure on this group, so let's go ahead and try to see what we can do with this group. And the way that we see that is, if we're unsure if it's alive or dead, and it's surrounded, then we should just reduce the eye space. Let's check the eye space. So I'm just going to reduce, and I'm going to see what his eye space looks like. And it becomes very easy to determine if he's alive or dead by reducing the space and seeing what his shape is. Alright, so I'm just going to keep reducing. And we're just going to look at the shape after we reduce. Okay, so just reduce. Alright, and it looks like a bit 3, right? But if I play here... Oh, was that this thing? Oh, okay. So it looks like if I play here, it's the vital point. But that's trying to kill. And for our purposes, we don't need to kill, and killing's dangerous. So rather, I want to just ask him, how are you going to live? And I'm going to ask him by completely surrounding him. I'm going to say, I might be able to kill you, but it looks really dangerous and I can't read all of the moves. So rather, I'm just going to say, I'm going to get super solid on the outside and force you to live on the inside. And it's going to be your job to figure out how to live. So I'm just going to get a force on the outside, make super solid shape, and then ask him, how is he going to live? Where's your two eyes? Because if you have weakness, that weakness could really come to bite you in the rear if you try to kill. But trying to kill is really difficult and dangerous. So rather than that, just politely force him to live while taking all the points. And here we can notice that, oh, if we play here, this is a false set. Is it Sente? Is there any other move he can play to live? Do I have any risk? So if I play here, he can push, he can build his way, I connect, he doesn't go. But that goes for a false eye. There's a Hane, but no cut. There's a push, and maybe a cut. But I don't see anything wrong. And I don't see any justifiable reason not to take this eye. Therefore, I can now take the eye. First, look for all of your weaknesses. If there's weaknesses, then it becomes very difficult to kill. But if you're super strong, then maybe you can play. Okay, so I'm going to fix. I'm going to fix. Okay, so he's trying to escape, so I have to cut. I mean, this is my whole plan, is to keep him surrounded, so I have to cut. Alright, now I need to stay really strong. very careful with your shape here. Remember, if we get cut off and die, then we're in a lot of trouble. So play very strong and very solid. And then if he dies, then he dies naturally. Alright, so now I have a weak group here, so we're just going to run with a very solid move on one space jump. So this cut here seems okay, it's a ladder. Alright, he played a peep. So I'm going to mix with the bamboo joint, because bamboo is very strong. Still weak, so I'm going to run, but actually I notice these two stones are cutting stones, and I can kill the cutting stones. So I'm actually just going to kill the cutting stones. Because cutting stones are really important to kill if you can. Now again, I continue checking for weaknesses. There's still this double Atari, but it's only one stone, so it's okay. There's a cut here, but that's a ladder. So it's okay. Alright, he's checking my liberties here, so I'm going to stay strong and keep my liberties. And it looks like this group is completely dead. So now it's a question. Am I weak anywhere? I don't see any weakness. Is he weak anywhere? Oh. We have the cut. Is he weak anywhere? Well, this is dead, so it's not a weak group. Alright, so now we're in Bioyomi. So let's think in Bioyomi. I don't have any weakness, he doesn't have any weakness. So I'm going to sacrifice an entire Bioyomi period and find all the moves that are possible then. But now I'm going to think, there's some endgame here, I can jump in position here, and he has a big area here. So his area is very big, so obviously that's where I want to be. So we find the line of influence right here, and I can just play a reduction move. We can just play here. So sometimes sacrificing a period to understand the board is worth it. You can sacrifice a Bioyomi period to count. You can sacrifice a Bioyomi period to read the status of the rest of the group. You can sacrifice it to understand the whole position. And you can do all kinds of things. So don't worry about using your time in Bioyomi. Use it. Using it is good. Alright, here, we're going to just continue walking in his area. I think reducing here is good. We're going to continue reducing, and continue to reduce. Alright, now we've reduced pretty good, and I don't think we can reduce it more after these blocks. And now we just have to proceed with the rest of endgame. And from there, we're going to think, now what's the biggest area? So I have a push here, I have a block here, there is a couple endgame points there, but I notice my big open area is right here, and there's also a block right here. And you can take a period to do this. But I notice I have a big open area right here, so I should probably do something about that. But actually, I'm going to play very sacrifice these two stones. Due to time pressure, I want to just secure my area. Even if I have to sacrifice a little something, I just want to secure my area. Because time pressure, I can't read everything perfectly. I'm just going to do my absolute best to stick to my basics. And my basics here are protect my big area. Okay? Okay? And now I'm just going to stay solid, stay strong, and protect my area. Alright, and now we proceed with the rest of endgame. Am I weak anywhere? No. So where's the next big move? Okay, let's think. I have this move, I have this move, I have this move, and I think those are the three biggest moves. I also have a move here, but I think this one's the biggest because it's a big side, so I'm going to block here. Later, at higher levels, you would count the exact value of each one. Even if I have to sacrifice a Bioyomi period to do it, it's good to count the values of each one and calculate. But for this level, we're just kind of eyeballing it because we only need to think what are our options and which one looks the biggest. Okay, so now it's playing here, so I'm going to block my territory. Also kind of a big. Okay, and fix my this one because I don't want the blocking to be sensitive. Okay, does the sound go out? I think the sound goes out. Oh, apparently it's not. Can you guys on Twitch hear me? Okay, and I'm going to continue to fix. And it seems like the sound's okay on my end. It's picking up the sound. But I don't hear it on Twitch. Sound is okay on Discord, but not on Twitch. Well, the mic's picking up on on the online broadcasting software. I'm not sure why. Okay, we're gonna continue to play the game. Just block my transfer. Sente moves first. Sente moves first. It's back. Okay, so it was. I think it was a Twitch thing because OBS never told me last time. All right. Anyway, continue with our reducing moves in Sente. That's all we're doing. We're just reducing in Sente. This seems good, okay, so I'm not going to do it. And now I'm going to block my big Gote moves. So I'm going to block here. This seems pretty big. Okay, so we took a Sente. Or actually, this one isn't Sente. Okay, so I can now block here, which is Sente. But this one, cut. There. I'm pretty okay on Liberty, so there's no reason to fix that cut. Don't be tricked and fix the cut by instinct, everyone. Always read the cut. Always read it. Alright, now I'm going to play here. This is a kind of a Gote one. Alright, and I'm going to connect. I'm going to go in, and now it's his choice. It's Gote for me, but it was a big endgame. But I don't have any more Sente endgame that I see, so I just played a big Gote. Okay, so I'm gonna fix. Okay, block. Alright, where's his big Sente? Here's a really big Sente, so we're going to take that. Because I don't have any more Sente, I used all my Sente. I'm going to take the big one. guys hear me on stream? I want to say you can hear me on Discord. Alright, so let's go ahead and play once again. We're going to continue our basics. Open corners first. We don't have any weak groups yet. Okay, so it looks like you guys can hear it on. Alright, so I'm going to play a start point 3-4 because why not? That's an interesting combination, leads to interesting things. So start point 3-4 are kind of my go-to moves when I'm not trying something fantastic. Very simple, gives you many options. Alright, so the left side seems to be the open side. So since we went to the left side, we are going to play a pincer, because we want to play the direction that gives us the open side, right? And in this case, the pincer will give us an open side. The reason for resigning was just because it wasn't about winning. The whole purpose was a learning experience. I wasn't trying to win, I wasn't trying to lose, I wasn't worried about the result. I was worried about, did I play my goal? And my goal was to play basic moves. Did I accomplish that goal? Well, yes, I accomplished that goal. I played really nice and solid. I made my own areas, and I played big moves, and I wasn't worried about the result. And I want to emphasize that because I don't want you guys worrying about if you're losing a lot or if you're winning a lot. I want you to just worry about giving a goal to yourself and accomplishing that goal in order to improve your game. And then if you give yourself a goal, it becomes very easy to improve afterwards. So for here, am I weak anywhere? Yeah, my corner's a little weak. So first things first, I'm going to try and make a base, and this looks like a vital point. It's Tiger's Mouth, right? Tiger's Mouth is vital point? Maybe? I don't know. Maybe this is okay. Seems alright. It helps me get some ice space in the corner as well. It also peeps him. And that's what this peep is for. It's to actually take his eyes and help my eyes. That's why I played this peep. I think this peep's okay. It seems simple enough. And now I want to extend along the side. And I'm going to play one space instead of two space because he might play on my head. So I'm going to play one space and start making a base. Excuse me. I'm going to make a base. Hopefully making a base is good enough here. So now my corner is almost completely alive. And his group's not. But I have a weak stone here that I have to worry about. And I'll worry about that soon. Alright, so now he's attacking that weak stone. So, here, before I invest on this stone, is it super important? Well, it seems a little important, right? Because if I save it, it's his base. So I think it's worth saving. So I'm going to play super simple, just make a base. That's all I'm going to do, just make a base. Alright, and I'm going to jump if I can. Can I jump? Yes, I can. There's no cuts, so I'm going to jump. If you can jump, jumping's better. But always check the cuts. Okay, so now, am I weak anywhere? No. Is he weak anywhere? Kind of. So it looks like this group's not completely fine. So let's try to surround it a little bit. So where can we surround it at? Well, first we want to look at the vital point, right? And the vital point should be a Tiger's Mouth. So this looks like a good move to take his eyes. And then we can worry about surrounding right after that. So take the eye shape, and then just play a nice surrounding. Alright, so he played here, so fix my cut first. First job, fix my own weakness. Don't worry about cutting him until I'm safe. Okay, now I can worry about surrounding because I'm okay everywhere. But first things first, I'm going to make good shape while surrounding. So we play here, and this is a simple circle. And we get our own influence, and now he has to run. Okay, he runs, but we already checked this cut, because we read it before we played the 1-point jump. We checked the wedge,
¿Aló?
and we fixed the dagger's mouth, and everything's
¿Aló?
okay. We make sure that we can't be cut.
¿Qué pasa?
Alright, so he plays a peak.
Sí.
Is this peak good? Well, this is only one stone, so it's not a group, so I don't have to worry about getting it cut.
Sí.
And
Ahora por ella.
then I just need to worry about the surrounding cut, and the surrounding cut is
Okay.
here. So I think this is okay. One stone is not a group.
Ajá.
When you're checking for weaknesses, check for the weaknesses that your opponent can take
10.50.
advantage of by attacking, or maybe attack a group, or something like that. But this one stone is not a group. However, this one stone
¿Qué
is,
vamos a pasar?
because F3 is a big area. But you can see E14 is not a big area.
Porque pasan a dejar otra señora también.
Kind of get a feel for what is a weak group.
Aquí mismo, por aquí, por la Filadelfia.
Alright, so we're just going to keep our good shape. We have the ladder, so we're okay.
Vale.
There's no cut. We're just going to stay strong while surrounded. Alright, we're going to stay strong. Stay strong while surrounded. Alright, so do we have new weaknesses? All the star points are a little uncomfortable. So let's deal with that. Let's just deal with it. And so, simple move. Oh, actually, direction. Do you want to play the left side or the bottom side? Well, the left side, there's not that much space, right? So let's play on the bottom side. Bottom side is more interesting, more open. So let's play the Joseki that plays on the bottom side. Okay. Well, alright, and he plays, and we're just going to simply play Joseki. This is a normal Joseki. And the reason we know Joseki is because it's very easy to look up free dictionaries online like josekipedia.com, edugo.com, or we can simply ask a friend. But it's very easy to find Joseki dictionaries, so we should know the basic Joseki. We just need to know which direction to play the Joseki. And in this case, our direction was the bottom side. Alright, so now, do we have any weaknesses? Well, this group's not completely alive, so let's try and help it a little bit. We can just play a 2-space extension, very simple, very safe. We could have also played an approach. We could have also on a headed 2 to get some influence to help it from afar. So there's a couple options to play here, but I chose the simplest one for simplicity. Okay, and now he jumps. Now, do I have any weakness? No. Does black have any weakness? Well, there's some questions up here, so I'm going to ask this ice space question. So, ice space, how much space are you? And I want to do that from the outside. I'm just going to push it in. How big is your eye? Ice space big? Is it not big? Okay, so I'm going to keep asking him, how big is your eye space? I'm just going to keep pushing it down. I'm not ready to kill it just yet. I'm still not convinced I need to kill it or anything. I just want to surround it and push it from the outside. Let's push from the outside. How is his eyes? Are they okay? Are they not okay? Alright, so stay strong first. that your left group is not weak? How do I know it's not weak? Very good question. Well, I check the eyes. How many eyes do I have? If I have 2 eyes, then I can't be weak, right? So right here, you can see that in one more move, I play A10, I have 1 eye right there. And I have another eye on the side around A12 or A11 or B12. So in my mind, I'm thinking, until he gets a move around C9, I have 2 eyes. So I don't think I'm weak yet. And he still needs a little bit more stones because I have the possibility to run immediate 2 eyes, and I have the possibility to run away at D8 or C8, and I can expand my eye space and like a move like B7. So I'm not convinced it's weak yet, but you are right. If you thought that this is weak, go ahead and defend it. I know why I'm not weak, but if you don't, like if you don't see those reasons, then you should defend it. You have to trust yourself. So yes, if I think I'm strong, I can ignore it. But I have to have a reason for myself. I have to trust my own reason and my own reading. So here, I'm just going to continue to connect to facial. But if you think it's weak, if you're not convinced, and you don't see how it's alive, then you should defend it. In your game, you should defend it. And then from there, you'll learn from your own experiences, your own life and death problems, your own reading, your own situations, your own level. You'll determine if something's alive or dead. Now, if you ask me how to improve that judgment, I would say do go problems and play lots of games. And then try to figure out when's the earliest that you know for a fact that your group's alive. So in this case, I'm not convinced I'm alive anymore, so I'm going to continue playing. Because now the situation's changed by a little bit. But to understand if you're alive or dead, well, you have to think, how many eyes do I have, and how many ways out do I have? And then use your own reading and your own judgment to solve it completely. Actually, I'm wondering if I might have died by accident while explaining this, because I'm not sure the code was sent to. I shouldn't have connected that. Because this tiger's mouth seems really good for black. So if I die, I'll actually be right. And it would mean that my judgment was wrong, and that I should learn from this game and improve for next time. Alright, so if I go here, that's 3 in a row, so that means I need to try wedge or Nobi first. Nobi's better for my space. So, in hindsight, it looks like I'm not alive, but it looks like this 1 stone, I wasn't alive when Death was Atari. When I'm thinking back, I'm thinking, oh, what can I learn from this game? Well, I'm not alive, so obviously I feel like I did something wrong, right? Where did I do it wrong? Well, it looks like this Atari with the tiger mouth was good for luck. So connecting this 1 stone was actually not good. Because this stone was fine because these 2 stones were Atari, or the 2 stones in the center were Atari. So connecting the co was actually, seems like a mistake. We're gonna continue and see how far we can get with this group, because obviously we can. Alright, now the moment of truth. Are we alive? If I just go down, Yohanes, I block, it looks like I'm not quite alive. But the question is he alive in the corner? Let's find out. So I like how you pointed it out. If you pointed it out, I died. So it was a very good question. It means perhaps. So remember, fix your weakness first before you take the odds. Play D6 quickly. D6. Okay. But did you consider D8 for the double Atari? Not double Atari. D8. Yeah, I was aiming at D8, but if I don't have to play it, I don't want to, and that has to do with the Tamari. So if I play D8 Atari first, he will connect, and then I Atari before I did a D6, and he'll know me. So I played the exact same sequence without losing 1 stone. So it's actually better to play this order. Unless, of course, I could double Atari somewhere. Of course it's better, but I could double Atari. The but I got that anyway without sacrificing the stone. Alright, so it looks like I managed to live here due to a black mistake, and that black mistake actually has to do with this throw-in. He should have fixed his weakness first, and then tried to kill him. And then actually he would have had a chance to kill him.
Oh, that's true.
But I wasn't convinced about the corner, but perhaps I think the corner's a little bit better on Libby's side. So I think my mistake was actually filling this co at F10. It was not very valuable. Oh, now we get into a life and death shape. How many of you know the problem with B2? If you don't know, let's ask ourselves, the common life and death sequence is first, or the common life and death problems are first, reduce the ice space from the outside. That's our first step. Okay, so it seems like it's okay. So, perhaps maybe this one wasn't good? But that's the first thing we have to consider. But I think normally this shape isn't good because if I get strong liberties on my E1, I want to see if I can get my E1 liberty first. But if I play A3 first, he blocks, then I hane, he blocks, and then I play, sometimes that shape is not alive due to a code for bit 4. In this case, however, it is alive because I don't have the liberties. If I had the liberties, it would be dead. So always block at A2 rather than B2. The reason I didn't start at A3 first is because I didn't want to lose the point. But normally, you have to reduce the ice space first. I have to do more like that problem. So here, white could try A3 and try to start a go, but black can just simply Atari, do a double Atari. It's hard to show without actually showing. But for those of you who are keen to read this out, when you start the code, black can double Atari and you can't connect. So it's still technically alive, but if I ever get a stone at D1 and E1 or get my liberty strong to do it, then the problem will become the lack of liberties. If I'm not mistaken, I may be mistaken actually. It may be the fact that you can take an E1 and connect out. I just know I need E1. That's all I know. And I was trying to get it. But in this case, he did solve A3. So he did live, but he should have played A2. It would have been on slightly more points and no threat of cover. Alright, so now, am I weakening? No. Is he weakening? Actually, that left group still doesn't have 2 eyes. So let's go here. Do I have the analyze tool? Analyze. Analyze mode has been missing, so no. I think I turned it off because I play rated games, and I don't like anything read with this stuff. Read with the eyes. Or read with the clicks. You know what I mean? Alright, so I'm going to fix my weakness. And ask him if he's alive. So are you alive, Black? Are you alive? Alright, so he's connecting. So I'm not going to try to kill. I'm only going to try to surround. In this case, this is an elephant's eye. So you surround with an eye. Surround the elephant's eye, it's the knight's move. Okay, now I'm just going to block. Fancy. You may be right, Cookie Master, but our goal actually isn't to kill, it's to simply stay strong and see, is he alive or is he not? So, I don't mind if he moves. I'm just going to stay super strong. If he dies, great, I win. But if he doesn't, I need to still have strength in order to play the rest of the game. So here, I'm just going to block. Now, perhaps if I read perfectly, maybe I can hane here or reduce the eye space here, and he can't get out here anymore. But for our purposes, I'm not going to try to kill. I'm just going to stay strong. You should not try to kill unless you can read every single variation perfectly. And then that requires a lot of life and death moments. It requires using time to read everything out. In this case, though, we don't need to, right? Just simply playing solid and strong and surrounding our opponent is good enough. If they die, great. But at this level, our goal is not to kill, it's to improve. And to improve, we just need to simply stay strong. Alright, is he alive? I think he's pretty alive. I think the most we can get is this just over here, Sente, and I think it's good enough. Now, had we read a little bit more, maybe we could have Hane, took this eye on the left, and then maybe he can't break out at G16 or F16, or even maybe he couldn't break out, maybe he doesn't have two eyes, who knows, right? But that would require us doing a lot more reading, and that's fine to do in a game. But for the occasions that you can't read it perfectly, simply stay strong is a good way to go. Simply staying strong and giving him thickness and letting him live with 2 or 3 points is sometimes more valuable than taking that risky route that might cost you the entire game. So many people find it a lot of fun to kill, but for our purposes, we don't want to try to kill unless we read everything perfectly, and I don't think at this level we can read perfectly, so we're just going to stay super strong. Yeah, I think he could have died too, and if he could die, then you should try to kill, but I want to emphasize that you don't have to, but if you can, of course do it. If you can read everything and he dies, then do it. Of course that's better. But if you're not able to read everything, and not every situation is super easy, then perhaps you just getting strength and letting him live small is better for this level. That's mainly the point I want to make this. That sometimes just letting your opponent live is better for a more secured victory. Alright, now we're back to, am I weak? No. Is my opponent weak? No, he's alive. Where's the biggest move? Well, the biggest side is the right side, and I think U4 is a little off, so I'm going to put pressure on U4 while playing the right side. Killing is always fun, but killing is also risky. So you don't always want to go for the kill unless you can read it. Because killing is very risky and very dangerous. So killing is fun and powerful if you do it properly, but if you mess up, then maybe you lost a position that was really good. Alright, in this case, I'm going to stay on the right side, so I'm going to choose this shape. This rank is 14. AQ on KGS. So we're at the single digit Q. But even single digit Q, I think many single digit Qs try to go for the kill way too often. Many of my students, anyway, try to go for the kill way too often, and you don't need to. But here, I just simply defended myself in the proper shape. I just made shape, and I think I played this one too quickly. I should have explained this one more. I think I played this one too quickly. But the idea here was to make shape. Anyway, back to the point. I've seen many of my students, and most of my students are single digit Q. And I've seen many of them try to go for that kill, and I was like, why? What if I play this and they didn't have a response? And then I was like, well, what if I play this one? They didn't have a response. And then I'm always wondering, why are you trying to kill if you don't see every single variation? What if you just surround and take your profit? And then it's good enough. You don't need to kill. You can just win by taking profit. Only kill if you can read everything. Now, granted, I tell them this until they get to around 4Q. After 4Q, I start becoming a little bit more strict on my students and tell them, you're 4Q, you now should have done enough life and death problems, so now you should check if you can kill, and if you can, kill it. If you can't, then continue with our basics and just surround. So I think after 4Q, you should really start checking. Of course, check it. If you can't, or if it's too risky, fine. Play solid and play surrounding moves. But if you can, of course you should kill. The reason I first and then learn how to kill later than try to kill first. It's really hard to stop trying to not kill. It's a lot harder to try not to kill than it is to try to kill. I hope that makes sense. Alright, so for here, am I weak? Not really. Pretty light on the right side. Is my opponent weak? No. Where's the big area? Well, there's not really a big area, so where's the big position, territorial position? Well, actually, the top right is a big territorial position, so I'm just going to go in. And an attachment here's easy spot to go in. Because it's a large knight, so this is an attachment to a Seki, so this is a okay spot. If any of my points don't make sense, guys, feel free to ask me. Ask me to elaborate. Ask me to explain it more. Keep asking questions. That's how you learn, by asking questions. R17 possible answer here. Yes, but then R12 would be weak. Okay, so I'm going to go 3-3. That's actually why this one's so good, is because if he blocks on the inside and takes the territory, I'll go out, and then R12 will go in. But here, he has to sacrifice territory, and that's actually why you don't see a double wing. What Black had here was actually something similar to a double wing, where he had R12 and N17, both kind of extensions from the start point, but neither of those moves stopped me from living in the corner. Therefore, getting the double wing is actually very dangerous because it leaves the corner open and the corner becomes very invadable. So remember to avoid those double wing shapes. So now I'm just going to take my life and stay strong and live. So try to avoid double wing shapes or an extension on both sides of the start point that leaves the 3-3 open. Let me clarify a little bit. Third line extensions on both sides of the start point that leave the 3-3 open are usually not good. Hopefully that makes sense. Alright, so am I weak anywhere? The right side looks uncomfortable, so let's do something on that. So for now, I'm just going to, actually, let's keep the corner, and then just make a base. Alright, so Danny Blitz says, I have a habit of playing Melio-type games and fighting games, either winning by a lot, kills for more territory, or struggling hard by mid-game being behind 20 points. That probably means you're getting a Melio, but you either A, don't gain profit from attacking, so you need to work on gaining profit when you attack, or B, you forget to take side territory as well. So a Melio is not something you want to just only grab the center. A Melio normally has a side, and then it builds up, right? It normally has a position, a territorial position, and then it builds up. And that's how you make a big Melio. So for example, you can have bigness and big Melios, but if you don't have any sides or points to go with it, then you're not going to have much. Or if you don't have weakness to attack or take advantage of to gain territory in Sente, then it's not very valuable. So Melios are tricky. It's probably one of the most difficult things to use. But you need to use it by working with the side and making a large position, and then simply attacking your opponent and gaining profit. S3 because I can invade. I can't invade, but there's a lot of in-game Aji there. That's actually why normally R5 is not played, and R3 is played instead of R5. So R5 leaves a lot of in-game Aji.